if you do not allow your numbers to speak for themselves, and if your study is not allowed to stand on its own legs, and instead you go call press conferences and call media and start blowing your trumpets very loudly, well, this is not science.
As the world looks for vaccines and treatments, Baba Ramdev's Patanjali has released a drug that he claims is a coronavirus cure with a 100% recovery rate. But after the Union Ministry of Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, or the Ayush Ministry, barred Patanjali Ayurveda from advertising and publicizing their drugs Coronil and Swasarvati until further verification, the sale of the products is on hold. Still, there's a lot wrong scientifically with Patanjali's product and the processes by which they were made.
Often a naive impression is created in the minds of public that they are Ayurvedic drugs and therefore they are safe. But that is not the case. That is not the case. The world literature is replete with examples where the Ayurveda drugs, which due respect to Ayurveda, have created kidney problems, bone marrow problems, serious anemia, neuropathies, etc., etc.
One of the biggest drawbacks is that the company had not made the results of the clinical trials public, and so hadn't released any evidence, and yet had claimed fantastic results like 100% cure without any backing. After the Ayush Ministry issued a notice on Tuesday 23rd June, Patanjali did provide details of the drug composition, clinical trials, sample size and so on. But this is where the problems begin. First, for any drugs to be available in the market, there are certain processes to be followed.
So we see that there are several issues related to the basic study design. Several biases have entered in the study. The sample size is probably not appropriate. Investigators design a clinical trial and they want to implement that clinical trial. They need to follow certain rules. And one very important rule is that they must submit their study protocol to a site called CTRI, the Clinical Trial Registry of India.
The trial was registered on the 20th of May with the first patient being recruited on the 29th of May. And there was a series of endpoints which needed to be registered for the trial with follow-up for the patients, including a 14-day follow-up. But even with all of that, and with their sample size being around 120 patients, for them to announce results on efficacy on the 23rd of June is very surprising, because that means that, in less than a month they've finished the study and they have endpoints and they have analyzed the data and they want to present it.
Patanjali's statement added that the clinical studies were done in several cities like Delhi, Ahmedabad and Meerut. The journal Down to Earth reached out to Abhishek Sharma, who was involved in the trial conducted at Jaipur's National Institute of Medical Research. He was also named in Patanjali's response to the Ayush Ministry. He said, "This was only a pilot study. The study has to be scaled up further."
Predominantly, the 120 odd individuals were supposed to be enrolled in the study. So they were all young. Their mean age was 35. All of them were either asymptomatic or had mild disease. And none of them had a comorbidity like a heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, high blood pressure or a kidney disease.
Since most of the deaths around the world and in India are due to comorbidities, it's strange that the drug did not test for this important group and yet claims to be 100% effective for anyone with coronavirus.
The point is that the moment you choose such a population, there is a big selection bias that occurs, which means that these people were destined to get better of their own.
Right.
Given their age, given their lack of symptoms or mild symptoms, and given their absence of comorbid illness. They say that they were compared with a placebo, but they haven't mentioned what this placebo was or what was the standard treatment. So did these patients also receive certain other drugs, for example, hydroxychloroquine or not? There is no mention of the sample size, that how did they get a sample of 120?
Patanjali claimed to have tested 95 people who were infected with coronavirus for their drug. Right off the bat, this is a very limited sample size to test for safety and efficacy. However, at their launch event, Baba Ramdev did add that he wants to test on people on ventilators, but the safety of it must be completely assured before this is allowed to go ahead.
Another problem is that in their outcome measures, they say cure. So cure is a very woolly term in modern medicine. What do we understand by the word cure?
Patanjali claims that taking their drug has caused patients to 100% test negative for the virus, and so the cure is through Ayurveda. But no medicine is 100% accurate all the time for all patients. There are always some side effects or complications in some patients. Think of the warning labels on some of your go-to medicines. They always have a caution that says to take care if you're maybe above a certain age or below a certain age, if you're pregnant, if you have heart conditions, health conditions, etc. So no drug has 100% recovery rate for everyone.
The importance of a peer-reviewed paper is because once you have come up with your findings and then you write it up in a scientific way and then you send it into a journal, the journal will send it out to independent peer reviewers who will look at it critically. Because we don't have that for this particular claim which was made yesterday, we don't really know how they did this study, what was the approach, what were some of the key findings. That is what is also very troubling, that there doesn't seem to be any way of verifying this either through a scientific way or through a regulatory way.
A circular dated 21st April 2020 from the Ayush Ministry has a list of Ayurvedic options to boost your immunity, but it is clearly written none of these are a cure. The options given were drinking warm water and herbal teas, kadha, using haldi, dhanya, lesun, etc. in cooking, and other tips like this. The Ayush Ministry issued a notice to Patanjali on Tuesday, 23rd June, requesting details about the drug, the composition, and details about the trial. And Patanjali did respond. But the question remains, why did this all happen so late? Why were they advertising the drug without giving the relevant details to the authorities? On Wednesday, 24th June, the license officer of the Uttarakhand Ayurveda department said that as per Patanjali's application, they issued them a license. But they didn't mention coronavirus. We only approved the license for immunity booster, cough and fever. We'll issue them a notice asking them how they got the permission to make the kit. Any medicine, especially one for coronavirus, must only be taken after consulting an expert. For Patanjali's new products, however, it's best to wait for more verifications from the medical community.